Namaste, Jai Bharat. When the US had obtained the Venezuelan president through a very sharp and short operation, and they were boasting about the abilities of their army, that of course technically was really uh, something efficient, something that speaks about their efficiency, capability, etc. But ethically it was so appalling. So once I didn't feel like appreciating that action of just plucking that president and bringing him along with his wife and planting somewhere else in jail, prison, whatever it is. But then this time they went to the Yemen and rescued their pilot. Was a brilliant move from the US. Excellent, meticulous operation. Excellent, meticulous operation. Normally, personally, I feel that their discipline's degree is not up to a respectable mark from Indian side. The US discipline. This is what the impression I carry. Could be wrong, maybe not. But their kind of discipline and technical advantage, etc. Technical, of course, they have. The dedication, etc., to the work is not that serious when we look at it from an Indian perspective. But this time, this action is wonderful, brilliant. Hats off to them, kudos. Great work they have done. Look at what they have done, the US. A pilot is trained. I don't know how they train the US pilots, but I know how we train our pilots. And when in the eventuality, some eventuality, if it happens in action, and also it happens in peacetime. During your routine exercises, these things can happen and keeps happening also, not on and often, but it also happens at times. The pilot has to abandon his aircraft, and he has to bail out. Bailing out is a technical thing again. Is ejecting, what they say. And ejection means you are sitting on a seat. A fighter pilot seats normally, as I see, I don't know about the US aircraft. I know about the MiGs, how the things are inside, to some extent. So the seats, where the pilot sits, its back hood is raised, much above the head, because he has to eject. And ejecting, that's to bail out, he has to eject. The seat has to get ejected. But once the seat is ejected, don't you think there's a canopy on top of them? Glass house canopy. This aircraft's front is covered with a glass round thing, which normally called as canopy. And if the canopy is not opened before the seat is ejected, this pilot goes and hits and dies. Hits that glass, which is not a small thing, which is an aircraft which is flying at above the speed of sound, and which has to withstand that friction, resistance, etc. So that's very hard stuff. You can't just break it. Even a car's windscreen, you just can't easily break it. Think about an aircraft, fighter aircraft's canopy. So he will go and hit and he'll die. So even suppose there is some obstruction while he goes up, then if at all something comes, let the back of the seat hit first. For that purpose, the seat is always high. You sit there, you sit on actually you're in a fighter aircraft, you are in a semi-sitting position, both legs stretched and leaning back, etc. That's a technical position through which the fighter pilot flies. And the back is high for this purpose, a kind of safety purpose. So there will be two kinds of rockets. The ejecting is because you have got rockets fitted under your seat. How many depends on the aircraft and type. But before that, once you pull the ejection lever, that's pulled. I don't know about European aircraft how it is done, I haven't seen. This you pull, then first one pull, that's sufficient. First the canopy gets fired. There is also rocket fitted in sufficient places. where the canopy can be fired, and canopy doesn't fall once somebody does it. It has a separate chute. Otherwise, it will fall on someone's head or some building and it will destroy. So it's automatically they have got fitted a chute for that. It falls apart. Then the pilot, he gets ejected. He is thrown out from the cockpit where he is sitting. Then after normally 70 to 80 feet. Then after a certain height, his seat detaches. That's very bloody heavy. Sorry for that language. That's heavy. The Air Force language comes. It's very heavy, made of metal, should be iron, and that gets detached automatically. Then it has a separate chute. Otherwise, that thing will fall on somebody's head. Then, of course, this man's chute opens, and he is supposed to land. Now, in this process, it is natural that in almost every cases, the pilot suffers some or the other kinds of injury. Now think about the US pilot who has ejected, bailed out in Iran, some remote place, far from the common place. So one man is missing, and that pilot has been rescued. This, of course, is brilliantly done, and the pilot had followed his training excellently. Must be a youngster. Normally, you don't find wing commanders flying into enemy territory normally until through a formation. He must be a squadron leader. They don't even send a flight lieutenant sometimes. But for such missions, it at least must be a squadron leader. So he should be well less than 30, not above 30. So that must be his age, roughly. Youngster, all enthusiasm, a dashing fighter pilot. He gets bailed out. They don't get upset. Once bailing out, they don't get upset. They are well trained for that. You are ready to face eventuality. The moment you get to wear a uniform, your mindset differs. In my experience, your mindset is ready to accept anything because you have a concept of nationalism. I'm talking about us in Bharat, my Indian Air Force. I'm talking. We have a sense of belonging to the nation, very emotionally, because we consider Bharat as Bharat Mata, and we are joining and wearing the uniform with that dedication. The nation is as good as my mother is sitting at my home. I lost my mother long back. That's because of age. But at that time, mother at home is not really different from the motherland. That thing is there in the mind of people like us. So he follows a training. What he does, first of all, he goes for RT silence. If at all he had some modern devices, I have no idea. I have only known this mix, not even BIS, the early mix, not even the BIS version. I don't know if he has got the beacons, must be there, but this technology, this thing latest, US Air Force, I have no idea. But then the pattern should be same, so I'm speaking. He had gone to stone RT silence, but he trusted his comrades in arms. They would locate him somehow. He can't afford to break RT silence because if he tries to contact his people, the same signals Iran can get and go to him. But somehow Iran did find out. They were going. They were men on foot. And the US done brilliantly. They put their men on ground. Paratroopers just went and descended. Hilly terrain, complicated terrain. Look at this brilliant pilot. He had excellently went into a kind of cave there and stayed hiding. Iranian forces were looking for him there. It means they also had some sense that he is in this location, this area. And in the meantime, they have sent messages to the entire country that gets this pilot live or dead and gets so big of reward, etc., etc. So people are searching for him. In the meantime, in Bharatiya Dandanidhi, it is, I don't want to translate. In Bharatiya Dandanidhi, there is Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. Advice, then gift. Then this guy is Bheda is talking everything. And Bheda is even deception. And then punishment. So this was today. They have adopted a deception, USA Air Force. They let the news out that we obtained the pilot Vigo, we rescued him. We all rescued him. So that this news must have gone to the Iranian public. So they just relaxed. They already they must have thought that US had already taken this pilot back. Who are we searching for? But the regime said, you keep searching. They were searching. Then US soldiers landed there, and then the Iranian soldiers, IRGC, were moving towards that area. Then they got bombed. They were getting strafed or bombed or something like that. Somehow rescued him and brought him back. This pilot is naturally injured. This bailing out phenomena makes it's normal to get injured. It's very exceptional cases that you don't get injured. There will be some small injury possible, depending upon the way you eject also, depending upon the state of mind, then also how hurriedly you jump out, etc., etc., etc. Lot of ingredients. Abhinandan Varthaman did not suffer any injury, I am sure. At that part nobody speaks. While he ejected, but he didn't appear to have suffered serious injuries. Scratches must have been there while going up. But scratch means serious injuries. We're going up in that speed. Bailing out is in that speed. So Abhinandan, of course, was intact, fully fit, except the torture which Pakistanis have done to him. Torture means not physical, but otherwise. They will put even chemical on you. These soldiers. I mean, the Pakistani people like that. So, they rescued the pirates through a brilliant operation. They really deserve to be appreciated, congratulated. Well done, US Air Force, that you rescued a pilot. That's the question of prestige. When a man in uniform cannot be and must not be abandoned, they will send 100 soldiers to save one soldier. That's our spirit. We are also like that. That spirit US Air Force has shown brilliant and should thank. Congratulations and thank you. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sierra.